Hello, you're watching the business headlines on HW News with me, Ali Azhar. In today's precarious business environment, one in which every macroeconomic indicator points towards a downturn in the economy, entrepreneurs and businessmen find themselves stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea. The government, for some reason, refuses to acknowledge the fact that the country is in the midst of an economic slowdown. And to be fair, we are almost on the verge of recession. But since the centre refuses to acknowledge it, they refuse to take any action against it or initiate any policy decisions to better the situation. And to top it all off, recovery proceedings, I'm talking about debt recovery proceedings, are in full swing. New acts such as the IBC code have given more powers to the government to initiate recovery proceedings. Now, ordinarily, this would be a good thing. Agencies going after defaulting promoters to recover the monies they owe to banks, financial institutions, investors, and the public at large. But there's a fine line between vigilant recovery and harassment. And in today's times of slowdown and depressed corporate earnings, any forceful recovery efforts seem to border on the latter, unfortunately. I mean, just take a look at the CCD founder VG Siddhartha, who took the drastic step of ending his own life because he couldn't face the intense scrutiny from investors and the income tax department, who were hounding him. While that may have been an extreme case, it reflects a sentiment that echoes throughout corporate India. So, what do you do when the economy is failing? Your earnings are not up to the mark, lenders are chasing you for money, and the banks won't lend you another dime. You sell stake. I mean, what else can you do? I apologize for the lengthy introduction before getting into specifics, but it was important for me to explain the background. A similar fate, as mentioned above, has befallen on India's most storied media empire, Zee Entertainment. The Subhash Chandra-led conglomerate is trapped under a mountain of debt in excess of 13,000 crore rupees and is railing under the effects of a lackluster earnings, and banks, mutual funds, and other investors demanding their money back. The situation got so dire that Mr. Chandra and his family had to pledge their shares with lenders to give them some sort of guarantee. After the value of shares began to fall, some lenders sold the shares in the open market, and the promoters, who till last year held in excess of 40% stake, now have close to 36% stake remaining. Subhash Chandra has come to an agreement with the remaining lenders who consented not to sell further shares till September. But time is running out. Mr. Chandra's other group entities such as SL Infrastructure's road and solar assets have been put up on the block for sale to help the situation. It is against this backdrop that the billionaire has agreed to sell a substantial stake in his flagship company Zee Entertainment to raise the money to pay back lenders. Zee has received two offers for the proposed stake sale. The first one comes from a consortium that includes US cable giant Comcast, James Murdoch's Lupa Systems, and private equity firm Blackstone Group. This offer is non-binding in nature, and negotiations are believed to be on for acquiring a controlling stake of 51% in Zee, which, as per today's share price, would be somewhere in the range of 35,000 crores. However, according to reports, the promoters of Zee are bargaining for an offer price of close to 17 to 20% premium over the last 6 months' average share price, which would give them a much better deal. The $84 billion giant Comcast has been a serial buyer of media assets, including cable networks, broadband assets, content providers, internet providers, and animation studios since the 1980s. Accordingly, an acquisition of India's largest private broadcaster with its deep library of content, platform offering Bollywood films, and more than 90 TV channels across 12 languages on demand via internet would definitely be a feather in its cap. The second offer is a binding offer from an unknown Asian investor group for a partial stake sale and not a controlling one, which would allow Subhash Chandra and MD and CEO Puneet Goenka to retain control of their company. Zee is expecting a similar valuation in this deal as well, that is a 17 to 20% premium over the last 6 months' average share price. While no details of the proposed deals are yet in public domain, talks are believed to be in advanced stages. The body of Cafe Coffee Day founder VG Siddhartha, who had gone missing from a river bridge near Mangaluru on Monday night, has been found by local fishermen in the Nethravathi River. A massive manhunt was conducted over 2 days to find the missing entrepreneur, who had written a letter detailing the reason for his tragic decision to end his life. When he was missing, the entire nation expressed its sorrow for the situation and was praying for his safe return. However, it was not to be. The body was found floating in the waters 500 meters from shore at around 6 am on Wednesday and was immediately brought to land. Mr. Siddhartha, in his letter, detailed that a private equity investor was pressurizing him to buy back shares for which he borrowed money from a friend, following which a liquidity crunch put him in a precarious financial position. However, the primary reason was that he alleged harassment at the hands of an income tax official. The IT department, in its response, expressed shock and raised questions over the authenticity of the letter, stating that signatures on the letter purported to have been signed by Mr. Siddhartha differ from those on company annual reports. The concerned official, B.R. Balakrishnan, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax and a 1983 batch IRS officer who was set to retire today, he refused to react to criticism surrounding the incident and stated that he was only doing his job. A probe into the matter has been demanded from all quarters of the country, and the pressures on the government to hold those responsible if there is any wrongdoing from their side. The detailed story on the sad disappearance and its immediate implications of coffee baron VG Siddhartha was covered by our channel yesterday. Thank you for watching HW News. This is me signing off. Have a great day.